Hi friends, so it's Erica and today's video is gonna be something a little bit different. I feel like all my videos on this channel are different though than like what I am typically used to making. Today I'm just going to be talking about the topic of letting go. So I asked you guys for some video requests or like video topics that you'd want me to talk about, and this is one of the ones that I got. So thank you to whoever requested that. If any of you guys have any other video ideas, please make sure to leave them in a comment because I want to make videos that you guys want to see, and I just want to know what kinds of other topics you'd want me to talk about on this channel. But if you guys haven't noticed, this is kind of like a channel that's dedicated to like spirituality and mindfulness, which is something that I'm very passionate about. So any video ideas related to those topics, let me know in a comment. So like I said, for today's video, I'm just going to be talking. I really have no script or anything really, no bullet points, nothing. I'm just gonna talk. I really hope that you guys will be able to resonate with this video and hopefully it's helpful in some way to you. I might even want to make this like a series because I like just chilling here. Like I'm on my bed, like I'm filming at night right now, which is not something I typically do, but I kind of dig the vibe. I feel like there's so many different routes that I could take this video and so many different tangents I could end up on. Letting go, man, it's a life process. So let's just put down the obvious here. Letting go is something that we all have to do. At some point in our lives, we have to let go, whether it be of a material possession, of a person, of a memory, of an experience. Like, we are going to have to let go, and it's a process that we learn, and I think it's a process that we get better at over time. But I know that I have definitely over the past few years learned to just let go and kind of accept uncertainty. I've kind of just stopped trying to control things that are temporary because everything is temporary. Sometimes things that we think are good for us actually aren't, or at least they're not meant for us. Something that I always used to say to like my friends and kind of to myself sometimes, even to help myself feel better in certain situations, I would say that you know, some things are meant to happen but not meant to be. So you kind of have to make peace with that and be willing to release whatever it was that didn't go the way that you wanted it to, or that didn't end the way that you thought it would. Or I think obviously the process of letting go is difficult and different people cope with it in different ways. So I actually have a book right here that is one of my favorites. Oh my god, it's so good. It's called The Book of Secrets. And the reason I pulled this book is because I remember when I read it, it had like a section, I don't think it's an entire chapter, but it's a section of the book that is all about letting go and about the decisions we make and how there's really no right or wrong decision. We make decisions and then the universe or God kind of guides us through whatever happens. So I'm going to come back to reference this book in a little bit, but I also just want to mention that a lot of the time I don't think it's the fact that we are genuinely scared of letting go. I think it's our ego that is, because our ego loves to attach itself to things and to people and to memories, and I think that's why letting go can be such a hard process for a lot of us. We may not realize that it's actually our ego that is clinging to whatever we're so afraid of letting go of. I'll use myself as an example. I think one of the hardest decisions I've had to make personally was the decision to move out of LA. And at first that was hard for me because A, I was afraid of what everyone else was gonna think. I loved my life in LA. I knew in my head that I was this person who was known for, you know, moving out of my small town, going to FITM in LA, and I was living this great life. Basically, I had to let go of that whole identity, I guess, like the way that people saw me as. And I realized that when I started thinking more and more about it, like, why did I care what people were gonna think of my decision that I felt was best for me in that moment? Like, why did I care what others saw me as? You know, that wasn't me, that was my ego. Like, it was trying to make me feel like I was a failure, like if I decided to move out of LA. And you know, I also had to let go of a job that I really loved. I was working at Free People, and Free People is my favorite brand and it has been for years. That was like something that my ego identified with, I kind of just realized that that's not even important. Like, the fact that my ego is trying to take over in the situation, that's not something that I should let ultimately like affect my life and my decisions. I think I had to make peace with the fact that uncertainty is actually a beautiful thing. This idea of not knowing, instead of being afraid, I just let it excite me. The ego cried. The ego did not want to leave, did not want to give up that part of my identity. We're always so focused on what we're gonna lose. Like, why? Why is that where our thoughts like directly go to when we think of having to let go of something? We just automatically think of what's gone instead of focusing on what good is coming. You know the saying, you win some, you lose some? It should really be, you lose some, you win some, you know? I think we should ask ourselves, how can we grow from this? How can we take this situation and make it something positive for ourselves? Letting go of people also is a big thing that is kind of made very difficult by the ego, because the ego thinks we need other people to make us happy, to complete us, to make us whole, you know? But that is completely false. That is a very dangerous idea for people to like have in their minds, like the fact that we need someone else. Let's say like a relationship ends. It's so important to remember that you are enough as you are, and you are a whole person as you are. I like to think of the end of relationships as like a wake-up call, because you kind of realize that, hey, like ultimately, like I am on my own, like this is my life. I think that wake-up call really forces you to think about what truly matters to you and what you truly love, and instead of focusing all your attention on a person, now you can focus on what you love to do. I think so many times when people come out of a long relationship, they're kind of lost and they kind of don't really know who they are anymore, because they were always so dependent on that person. I know that letting go of like a person is not going to be an overnight process, and that's okay. We just have to accept that life goes on with or without them. I'm probably quoting like 20 movies right here, but it's true. Like, it might be cheesy, it might be over said, but life goes on. We can't stay stuck in the past forever. You can visit the past, but don't live there. That's another quote. I don't know where it's from. There's so much beauty in letting go because there's so much possibility. Coming back to this book, so I'm just gonna read what it says. So it says, letting go, and then make the most of every experience. Don't obsess over right and wrong decisions. Stop defending your self-image. Go beyond risks. Make no decision when in doubt. See the possibilities in whatever happens, and find the stream of joy. Those are all super important points and very good tips. I also want to say that I think a lot of us, when something ends with another person, whether that's a friendship, a relationship, we think that we need closure, and we want this closure, or else we think we can't move on. I was listening to a podcast, I think it was Raina Biddy and Kaylani, and they were talking about this, like that idea of closure. Personally, I think that closure is something that the ego thinks that we need. Sometimes the only closure you really need is just the realization that self-healing is so powerful, and self-healing is really the only closure you need. Like, to give yourself permission to heal from whatever you went through. You don't need someone's explanation. You don't need someone's reasoning, because you might not get it. And that shouldn't stop you from being able to let go and move on. We may not always get the answers that we want in this life, but we do have the ability to choose to heal ourselves, to release anything that does not serve us, to let go of the anger, the hatred, the sadness, the frustration. We have the ability to let all that go. We have the ability to see possibility in every ending. We have the ability to forgive for ourselves. We have the ability to choose love at the end of the day instead of fear. With that said, that is my take on letting go. I hope this helps someone. Let me know what you think of the process of letting go. If you've ever been through a situation where you've had to let go and how you dealt with it and how you found peace after. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I love you guys, and always remember to be here, be still, and be love. Bye guys.